Welcome to the next episode of WaterparkRangers Let's Play Wind Waker. In this episode, just like the three previous, we're going to continue getting through Dragon Root's Cavern, the game's first dungeon. We already have the big key in our possession, but although the boss's room is pretty much right in our sights, we're heading right towards it right now, there are some extra things that you can find in the dungeon once you have the grappling hook. Plus, there's some things that we should just get out of the way now, rather than later. And you'll see what I mean in this episode. We actually have a bit of grinding to do. Don't worry, I'm going to cut ahead through it after I show you like how it works a couple of times. First, you want to get into this warp pod, assuming you've opened them all up. It should take you back to the very first room. Now, the key here is to first, let's leave this room. Well, we'll steal their joy pendants first. Well, one of them. And we'll go back to that room that I think we started off in episode either 13 or 14. This one right here that we're going to go through right now. Yeah, now that you have the grappling hook, you can do some extra things in it. First, we'll finish off these two shoes, just because they're in the way. Oh, plus you need to defeat the Bokoblin here as well. Unless you're coming back here later with a certain fire weapon. But that's kind of a spoiler. I mean, not really. Come on, this game's been out since, what, 2003? Get over yourself! I'm saying that both to you and me. Anyway, all these have been defeated, and we should grab the club. There we go, and set it on fire, just like how we took care of the first post in this room, way back in whatever episode it was, when we first came into this room. Now, aim and throw it across the gap at that little barrier. Actually, never mind, that barrier actually looks feeble enough to destroy with a chop from the hero's sword, so I guess we just totally wasted time fighting all those enemies. And yeah, there's another treasure chest back here. And it has another optional treasure chart. Treasure charts are like always optional, I think, unless you're playing the Japanese version of the game. I believe in the Japanese version of the game, there's a treasure chart that you have to find that leads to another treasure chart, which leads to another treasure chart, which leads to an item that you need to progress further. They changed that in the American version, and I think the European versions. Basically, boast the, the NTC, PAL, NSTC, I forget. Okay, come on, someone here is going to point out exactly what it is that I was trying to say there, but I wasn't. Okay, forget about all that. We have no treasure chart, that's all that matters. And this is the next little step here. What happens is you can steal grappling hook. You can grappling hook and use it to steal joy pendants from the Bokoblins each time that you re-enter the room. So I'm going to do that a ton of times off screen, and I think I'll just cut it right about here. Alright, these are the last couple that we're going to be stealing. Look how many I got. 32. Ton of joy pendants. We really don't want to have any more at the moment. Any more that we need, we'll just find as we go along our way. I was honestly just getting bored to death grappling all those joy pendants. But it is a fast way of obtaining joy pendants in the game. So just keep that in mind. That room is probably the best room to do it in. Because it's the easiest to like enter and then re-enter over and over without really having to do much. I mean, they're right there, and you always sneak upon them from behind. And now we're going to do something similar, because we came back here through the second warp pot to steal a golden feather from this Kargarok. Now, just like with the Bokoblin, when you go back into another room and then go back outside, don't roll into the door like I did, that's just wasting time. You can steal a golden feather from it. And I'll just cut ahead right here, because we're going to be doing this for a while. Alright, another golden feather. I think that's enough for us. 20. Okay. Yeah, you don't need 20 to progress, but for a certain side quest, you want 20 of them. And now that we have 20, really, we're pretty much done with all the stupid stuff that we had to get out of our way in this dungeon. And so that basically means that there's only one thing left to do. Take on our final boss. We will shoot out right here. And there's Magma to our left, which, there's no water pot to use, but since we have our grappling hook, we can get over it, do the conveniently placed, creepy arm branch thing. And yes, we have a Magtail to defeat. This time, we're gonna fight this Magtail. Man to Magtail. Forgive me, please forgive me, I know you can't. Alright, in this treasure chest, we found a Knight's Crest. This is an item that Orca told us about long ago, saying that we need to find 10 of them and then bring them to him. So I intend to do that, sometime. Wait, what? No! Oh my god! No! Alright, skipping back to the sequence. That was such fail. Okay, we have a yellow rupee. And now we've got to kill that Magtail. Yeah, the parry kills it in one hit. Otherwise, if you just hit it normally, like with a jump attack or other attack, it'll just curl up, and then you really do have to hit it quite a few times with your hero sword before it really dies. So the parry attack is the best attack to use on it. Plus, it helps you practice for later enemies that you can really pretty much only fight by using parries. Any other attacks are really difficult to use. And now we're at the boss. As you can see, this is Valu's tail, like Medley said, was hanging down from here into this room. And there's something big in there. It's a much bigger Magtail named Goma. And it's covered in armor. Basically, it's way too big for us to just expect to hit the eye. Because of the armor that's surrounding it. So the key, immediately look up, use your grappling hook, latch onto, oh crap, get out of there. Whenever it does this, roll out from underneath the claw, or crawl. Just get out from under there, because you can see he's just blasting fire right into that little section that he trapped with his claws. Either he or she, I'm not sure. I know in Ocarina of Time, it's Queen Goma, but clearly this is different from the Queen Goma back then, which was basically like a little tarantula thing. This is like a huge-ass, like, fire titan god of centipedes or whatever. I remember seeing him on the he's actually on the back of the Wind Waker box. Before I ever like got that far into the game, due to the screenshot, I couldn't tell what it was, and I thought that you fought like some sort of like god of fire, but really it's just like a bigger Magtail. Most of the enemies in this game, most of the bosses that you fight are going to be bigger versions of enemies you've already fought. Just a heads up. So you're noticing by this pattern that we're using to attack him. Basically what you do is you latch onto Valu's tail, and you swing on it, and when Valu thrashes around, he knocks that huge hunk of bedrock down on top of Goma, which damages the armor. And I think we've done that twice already, so we just have to do it one more time. It's also incredibly useful if you happen to land on one of the platforms, because Goma can't hit you when you're up on the platforms, whereas it can just knock you around, thrash you around a lot when you're on the ground. If you stay too long on one platform, though, it'll shoot out fire and burn off the platform and hurt you, so... Alright, now that we've hit it 3 times, it breaks the bedrock and breaks off its armor, and basically, now it's very much open to attack if it bends down. So when it bends down like this to attack, instead of running away, dodge the pincers and then go in and attack before it can shoot the fire. So just hit the eye with your sword. I think you can also pull the eye towards you with your grappling hook, but it's much cooler if you wait for it to come to you. Like that! Awesome! And we are done. Yeah, the eye has very little resistance, and it's not really a difficult first boss. Though I remember the first time I played the game, I actually lost. Not sure if I brought a fairy with me. There are a couple of fairies that you can bottle right outside the room, but I didn't bother to get them because we have a blue potion. Much more useful. Arguably. And the eye bursts open and gives us a heart container. Because it's a boss, it gives us a whole heart container. Instead of the piece of heart, this instantly will give us another heart. Though it's possible to beat the game with only 3 hearts, and you don't even really need to use any potions if you're good enough. But that's not what we're planning to do, it's just a normal playthrough. So we'll grab it, and we go from 4 to 5, just like that. Plus, if you take any damage, it instantly heals all that damage, so heart containers are really good. There's one for every boss you defeat, except for, of course, the final one, because there would be no reason to have a heart container once the game is finished. So now that Goma is defeated, the dragon can no longer be pestered. And so basically, it's able to calm down the big storm. And we finished what we came here to do. Except for getting the thing that the King of Red Lions wanted, which is going to be resolved next episode. But for now, the weather at least looks nice, and that's all that's really important. So, we'll finish up here on this island next episode. See you then.